I have created so many Horde Night bases in 7 Days to Die. So today I decided that I'm going to do a top 10 of my favorite Horde Night bases that I've created. Now there will be a link in the description to each and every single one of these bases that I mentioned in the video, so you can go check out them in a little bit more of a detail. Also, you will notice that some of these bases are Alpha 20, 21 and 1.0. All these bases still, from what I have tested, still work really well, so you can still use them. So let's get straight into it and take a look at my top 10. Leave a subscribe and like, it really helps out. So the first one on my list was a Horde Night base that consisted of one little string right across to the fighting area, and on the left and the right side you can stand on those balconies and actually throw molotovs and grenades while they're running across the string. There was also 3 ways up for the zombies to climb, always important. A very good base that I thought was really well done. Also, the best part about this base is it funnels only one zombie, so you only have to deal with one zombie during the Horde Night. And that is very important. You don't want to be overcrowded during Horde Night. You want to fight one zombie at a time and not multiple. This worked really well for melee combat. I would highly recommend this base even to this day. This base was done in 21.2. and I can tell you now for a guarantee that this still works, so highly recommend it. Number 2 on my list, this was a completely square blocked off base. I took a different approach with this one, and I let the zombies come and smash walls. There was no intention of following them down a path. I just wanted to have straightforward brute force base. The whole thing was a fully concreted big block, and on top of this big block you would sit on the top and you would throw molotovs down, throw grenades down, shoot at them. This is not a melee combat base, this is a ranged base, but I really liked it. It was strong, it was sturdy, it held up a hell of a long time. I have made bases very similar like this in the past, and I even put spikes in the middle. A wall, spikes, wall, spikes, wall, spikes, wall, spikes, all the way in the middle, and they just really struggled to get through all of that, and it worked really well. I was really impressed with it. And I would definitely consider trying this out and taking a look at the video, because the Horde Night did really well as well. You guys can go and watch it down below. But yes, check this one out. Number 3. This one was a tower base, which I tried to make a little bit different, where I try to make the zombies run through like a little bit of a path. It worked really well, and I did use this base multiple times on my stream, and I was quite impressed with it. The only problem I would say with this base was the cop zombies, because when they would get to the top, they would be spewing that nonsense at me. But it wasn't a huge deal at endgame when I had concrete, because I could just basically place the scaffolding ladders and stop that from happening and just shoot them as they came up. But yes, there were 2 ways up in this base, the left and the right side, so if they broke one side they had a left side. And the base itself was a fully functional base. You would live in there, you would do Horde Night in there, you would pee in there, you would poop in there. It was a full-on base, and that's what I was going for with this one. And it worked really nicely, and it still works to this day, guys. This was Alpha 20, this was when Alpha 20 first came out, and yeah, it still works. Would still recommend this base. Number 4 on my list, and I must say, I think this is by far the prettiest base that I've ever made, and the most detail that I've ever added to a little base like this. I absolutely love this one, and if I can put this one at the top of the list, I think I would. It was super industrial. I loved the way it looked. It was super interesting. Some people said it looked like a giraffe. I was very disappointed because I don't want my base looking like giraffes. But it was so functional, man. You had the electric fences, you had the dart guns, you had the trapdoors, you had the falling mechanism. Everything was super cool in this base. I called it the Jumper 1.0. And man, if you had to pick a base on this list, I would recommend you pick this one out of every single other one that I'm mentioning today, because this one was fun. I really enjoyed this one. And it's super adaptable as well. You could do way more as well. You can add more dart guns, you can add more electric fences, and obviously steel it up as well. In this video, I never made this base out of steel. This was made out of concrete. And it worked fine. I did a Horde Night in it. And yeah, oh man, I love this base so much. I would really like to do more like this, but it was super cool. And it also worked really well for cop zombies, because when the cop zombies would get to the top, they would be shocking and whatnot, and by the time they want to spew that nonsense at me, I shot them. So I love this base, man. I really did. Number 5 on the list, this base was a tower base which had one singular ladder going up, and with that singular ladder you had zombies all trying to squeeze themselves to get up to the top where you would be standing. and there was a dart gun right at the top. It was very functional, and I was quite impressed the way it worked. So yeah, I wanted to add this to my list. And you could actually fix the electric fences on the side mid-Horde Night. So if you had any issue like that, you could jump down and go and fix them. The dart gun was super helpful as well. I think I had 2 of them or 1 of them, I'm not sure. I had quite a few things going on here. But the electric fences slowed down the zombies so much that it made it so easy to kill them. And when they're pushed to the top, you can then switch to melee combat and whack them right when they get to the top. So this was a little fun base that I wanted to add. I also added a bit of the pinch of the yellow. I think the yellow looks so good on bases, man. Super industrial. I must confess, guys. I must confess. Number 6, I do have a bit of a problem with ladders in this game because I think the ladders work so well. This was a little bit of a obstacle course kind of thing that I was going for here. I wanted multiple ways for the zombies to get in. So you had left and right and the middle for the zombies to climb. And what I try to do is I try to have the zombies, when they get to the top, fall down and then struggle to then get back up. So they would fall all the way down past the poles, right to the bottom, and then repeat the process over and over and over. In the original clip that you're seeing, it didn't really work too well, but later on in the video, I adjusted and changed things, which then worked so much nicer than I actually hoped for. So yeah, this one's definitely going to be out of my top 10, and I wanted to include this one. You must definitely go check it out, guys. This one's actually a community favorite. This video did so well on my YouTube channel, so I just had to include it. And yeah, it's a fairly decent base. It's very straightforward, it's very easy to make, and I think in this video, this thing was mostly made out of cobble. So it was very easy to create. Again, I've used centered pillars in this base, and there's a little bit of an obstacle course before they get there. And when they actually get into the base, there was 2 blade traps that would cut them up into mincemeat. And it was super easy to maintain them because you could just fix those blade traps on the fly in the middle of the Horde Night. This one was actually inspired by one of my players on my server. His name's Aaron, and this video did so well. So thanks to Aaron for inspiring this base, because it was brilliant. Definitely a cool little solo base that you could use because it's so easy. All you have to do is maintain that one little area. You can use cameras, sensors, and things like that, and then it can also be upgradable. I think at the end of the video, no, actually in this video, I actually had a dart gun as well. So there was a dart gun and the 2 blade traps, which is super cool. Definitely going to be included in my top 10. The Hangman base. This one was actually really interesting because this one was actually floating. I glitched the game, obviously, but I made it seem like it wasn't floating by adding these pillars that went on top that actually kind of looked like the pillars were holding on to the base. So it was floating, but it wasn't. I just kind of didn't want it to look like it was entirely floating. But this one, guys, this base is probably, out of all of the videos we got here today, this one works the best. It performed so well. It was super difficult to get this thing destroyed because I used this multiple times on the Twitch integration. If you don't know what the Twitch integration is, it's basically Twitch, where players spawn in zombies and all sorts of things on top of me, and the zombies will fight me. This base works so freaking well against that, and it works really well. It's super strong. I basically used back-to-back plates and back-to-back poles to hold up the entire structure. So if one side of the structure fell down or broke, the base would still be floating because it's been held up by all 4 sides. So really cool base, man. Really like it. Highly recommend this one as well, guys. All these bases that I'm showing, they're just highly recommended. They're my top 10. I mean, what more do you want me to say? They're freaking awesome. The electric jumper, guys. This is a popular base on my channel. I've used this multiple times. I came up with this idea and I have always used it. I use it often for a video, or I always come back to this in the new alpha just to show you guys that it still works. It's basically stairs that go up and up and up and up, and there's electric fences that are slowing zombies down when they are jumping up and up and up. And then you are at the top shooting at them as they're jumping up there. You can also fix the electric fences on both sides, so you can actually run down and fix them during the middle of the Horde Night. You can also go to the top of the base and throw Molotovs, grenades, and all that stuff down. You can melee combat in this base as well. So when they get to the actual top, it takes them a very long time to get through all the electric fences, but they do eventually get to the top. And when they get to the top, you can smack them in the face with your club, and they go flying off, and they kind of have to repeat if they don't die. Awesome base, guys. It's called the Electric Jumper. I featured this base on many alphas, and I'm gonna probably feature it again and again and again. Right, my last one on the list, guys. Super simple, really easy to build. It's basically a ladder that goes right to the top, and right at the top there is a security gate that's at an angle, and when the zombies get to the very top, they kind of slide off. So you can kind of kill them when they get right to the top, or just stand there all night like a chop and just stay there all night. This was a one-sided base I think I made. You could make it double-side. And yeah, it performed really well. Nice and easy to set up, especially early game. You could set this up pretty quickly. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 Horde Night bases that I've created on this channel. Now again, you can go and check them all out and see how they're built and see all the videos in detail. Again, I wanted to do this video to kind of get more attraction across those videos because they are really good and I would like more people to actually see them. So definitely go check those out, guys. Like and subscribe if you want to see more Horde Night based videos. I am actively working on new ideas and trying new things for 7 Days to Die all the time. It takes a long time to figure out new ideas because most of the ideas are already done. And, well, there's not much more to do really in a game. But I am trying my hardest, guys. And I got you awesome people to support me. So, yeah. If you want to help support even further, you can check out my Patreon, which will be down below. I am releasing a new Patreon exclusive server very soon. So if you want to come and join that, you can. It'll be on Patreon, all the details. Patreon or YouTube membership. I'll check you guys in the next video. Have a great day.